Man, that's my fault. Nah, man, it's not bad service. Believe it or not, I reached up there to touch my phone, and it fell. And I got that Z Fold, and when it fell, it closed, and when it closed, it like shuts everything down. And I have been meaning to change that. I can have it set up to where when I close the phone, everything pops up on their front screen, but I have failed to do that yet. And when it fell and closed, I lost everything. So that's one thing I'm gonna do when I get home, man. Is I'm gonna actually lay down across the bed and mess with this phone, and that's the first thing I'm changing. Yeah, because that's sometimes I'll like be on Facebook on like when the phone is closed on the front screen, and then I want to read the comments or read an article, and I open it up and it refreshes. You know, that 85-inch flat screen. I love it though, man. This is my second one. I had the 3, then I got the 5. I'm not gonna get the 7 because there's no real big changes. The 6 is the same as the 5, and then the 7 looks like there's no changes. So I'm a wait. It works perfectly fine. I don't have a problem with it. The only thing I need to do is change out my screen protector on this inside screen. It's getting a nice crease in there. Got to change that out. But other than that, it's performing fine. My fiance, she has the Flip. She just had it replaced. It would not recognize her fingerprint, so she had to use the face recognition. But she don't like doing that. She like to be able to grab her phone, your finger go across the power button, and boom, it's on. Check community notes. I have to do that. I also need to make a link for. Why are you moving, dude? You gonna let me through here? Okay. I also have to make a link for that other channel so I can post it up in here. I went on the other channel first. It's Talk in Truck. Talk in Truck. I went over there, but I got 22 subscribers over there. I'm working on that, but I got to drop the link over in this one first. thought, I don't know. They shouldn't be able to disable comments on the public. Damn, that was a fresh kill right there on the road. So he was campaigning from the sheriff's. It's corruption at its finest. If Donald Trump can get away with it, why can't he? You know, he got a $400 million bribe. It's crazy. I think he should be able to use a plane that was donated to the country for himself, or a plane that was donated to himself for the country. That shouldn't be Air Force One. It's going to cost us, what, millions and millions of dollars to retrofit it to be a damn Air Force One. I agree, we need a new Air Force One, you know, and two. Those things are old as hell. I agree to that. Explore Missouri caves, or Missouri. Say Missouri or Missouri. Let me tell you, I got 46,000 pounds of shingles on this truck. And it feels like I got 10,000 pounds, probably about 20,000 pounds back there. This thing rides so good. This long wheelbase. I'm approaching Springfield, Missouri. This is where I got my first motorcycle at down here. It was given to me. It was a 1980 Kawasaki 750. No, 1000. It was a shaft drive. Those guys make racing bikes out of those bikes. That's the last thing I need, is something else to race. But I would. So looking up at this screen here, it looks like I'm a lot closer to this car in front of me than I really am. So no, I'm not tailgating. It just looks like it. unmarked state trooper ran up on my ass pretty quick, boy. What are we doing? You let me over or not? Why you just waking next to me? That's dumb as hell. We're about to ride past Prime Inc. Prime Inc. I used to deliver over there in those caves when I drove a reefer truck. And, alright, shake and bake here. the speed limit go back up yet? Yeah, I think it did. Set my cruise here for a minute. My truck is telling me to please reduce speed. Well, the camera is, I say. We have forward-facing cameras. We don't have driver-facing cameras. I did go with one company who had both driver-facing and outward-facing cameras, but I put a piece of tape over the the driver-facing camera. What's up, Freedom? I can try to make it home, man. Me and the Midnight Pumpkin. Yeah, when I put a piece of black tape over that forward front, that driver-facing camera, and yeah, I've never heard a word about it. Never. So Prime Inc. We just rolled past their home office. I just found out last night they have 9,440 drivers. 9,000 drivers. I wouldn't want to be at a company that big. Don't get me wrong. I worked for Prime back in I was like 2005, 2004, 2005, somewhere around there. I was with them for about 6 months. I did the lease thing. I made good money, but I went into it knowing that, I'm really a company driver paying the company's bills. You know, you don't work, you don't move, you don't make any money. What's up, Brandon? Thanks for jumping in this thing. I appreciate it. But I wouldn't knock anybody or discourage anybody. In fact, I tell people that if they want a good, solid first starter company, Prime would be it. I mean, they have the freight, they have the trucks, they have the training program. I didn't go through Prime for training. I am 552 miles away. 552 miles. When I started this morning, I was 860 something miles away this morning. I was on the, I can't remember the name of the city, but I was west of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Got up about 4, took off about 4:30 this morning, and see how far I can get. I'm probably gonna do something strategic, like shut down early, do like a split sleeper berth to get a few hours back, and then, yes sir, almost 10 full hours. But I use a trucker app, or trucker GPS, and I use Trucker Path on my phone as a backup. And they both told me the GPS told me I was 11 hours and 48 minutes. Trucker Path said I was like 12 hours and some minutes away. But I pulled up Google, and it was right at 11 hours. Got a four-wheeler here on the shoulder here. If you watching this video, if you ever broke down on the side of the road, I'm pretty sure you know how uneasy of a feeling it is when a truck comes blowing by you while you're sitting on the shoulder there, in distress, in need of something. We feel that same way when a car's riding past. We don't know if you're distracted, just like you don't know if we're distracted. We just ask that you just move over, please, if you can. I move over for trucks, cars, of course, emergency personnel, construction vehicles, construction workers. I just feel it's important to give everybody as much space as you can, especially when you got it. You know, there's no need. We're doing 70, 75 mile an hour out here. There's no need to fly by somebody with a foot and a half, 2 feet of space in between. You know, if you got room to get out of the way, just step over it. It's not going to cost you a dime. You know, it's not going to cost you anything. Just move over. When you guys see a police officer lights going, you'll break your neck to get out of the way. You know, and that law is move over or slow down. If you can move over, move over. If you can't, they want you to slow down to at least 20 mile an hour under the speed limit. So 70 mile an hour zone, which this is, if you can't move over, they want you to slow down to 50 mile an hour. I always use the left lane too, Freedom. I actually, is it my Facebook page, Instagram? One of them, it says left lane gang. You know, and then I got a truck that, well, I couldn't go in the left lane like I wanted to, but yes, I'm in the left lane gang. Hey, you're reliable, nice looking rig. This truck is a 2020 Kenworth W990 with that Packard motor in it, 550 on the horsepower, 1850 on the torque, backed up by a 18-speed transmission, 300-inch wheelbase, which really improves the ride. Like I said, I got almost 47,000 pounds of shingles back there. And with me stretched out the way I am, and I have my fifth wheel slid back past half near my rear axle, and man, she pulls great. That's because of the torque. But she rides great. That's because of the wheelbase, how stretched out I am. You get your regular like 240 wheelbase, 280 wheelbase, 269-inch wheelbase. The bumps come really quick, but this 300-inch stretch here is, oh man, it handles these bumps like the road you wouldn't believe. It's just nice. And now that I'm in a owner operator spec truck, you get more guys coming and talk to you about yours and their trucks. And some guys swear by these longer wheelbases and never go back to a shorter wheelbase. I know there's guys out here running a 315-inch wheelbase. I love them. Boost out right now. There's more. Now, I think when I jump over, he gonna speed up on me. Nah, I was wrong. Nah, I was right. He ain't speed up. All right, so I'm doing about 75, and he didn't like that. He did not like that. He's sitting next to my passenger side door right now. Here he comes. You probably can hear his diesel over there. I'm gonna stay at 75 going down this hill. You can't hear the Jake on here either. It's real muffled. not sure if you can hear that whine right there. I think the next time I park and take off, I'm gonna record the whine on here. We'll have to put a smile on your face like you wouldn't believe. This guy, he just feel. Remember, at 75 mile an hour, I drop 1 mile an hour, and he takes off on me. I'm back doing 75 now. He's just sitting here. The Jake kicked in. I'm locked in at 75. This is absolutely ridiculous. I can't stand it either, man. I just don't understand it. I backed out of it a little bit. I broke my cruise to let him just him again, and I wish I wouldn't have broke my speed down because I did it right at the base of a hill, and I didn't really pay attention to that. But that's all right. Let him just get on up out here, get out of my way. He ain't got to deal with me no more. For at least until he gets tired of running with his cruise off. This is crazy. Yeah, so I'm gonna get a 360 camera. I'm gonna mount it on my mirror. Like I've been getting people like sleeping passengers. I'll crack it, and you'll just watch the driver just start cracking up laughing because the passenger woke up just thinking they on a train track or something. That is hilarious. I think I pissed one person off though. She gave me the finger, and they followed me for a while, and well, then they flew by me with the fingers up again. But hey, that was entertaining as well. Watch for blind spots. Yeah, I'm gonna make a compilation of sleepy passengers who awakened by train horn. I think that ought to be funny. Alright, so he's back. Stuck behind FedEx right now. True. But I got the regular. Now he's giving me the finger. Oh man. What's the time, Steph? I gotta find that. 39.45. Thanks for the short, buddy. I appreciate it. It's gonna be me giving him the air. He was big man, buddy. They mad at me because you got a weak ankle. Oh man. Oh, that was funny, boy. That's gonna be a nice short. It's gonna be me hitting the air horn, and then 2 minutes later. Oh, mad at me because you got a weak ankle. You couldn't hold the pedal steady. Oh man. I'm number one today. I bought this. I can't show you. I bought this cup from the Love's truck stop, and I bought it for coffee. But when I went in, I took my coffee cup with ice just to put my bottle of water in, and I put ice in this cup yesterday morning. Yesterday, what's today? The 23rd, right? Today the 23rd. I put ice in my coffee on the 22nd at about 4:15 a.m. Okay, and I took off this morning at about 4:30 a.m. and I still had ice in my cup 24 hours later, man. Like I couldn't believe it. So I didn't go get anything to drink or fresh ice this morning because I still have ice in my cup. And that's saying something from a coffee cup that's a Love's branded coffee cup. Not like a Yeti. I think this thing was $15. That same size Yeti was like $40. So I'm really impressed. Over 24 hours with that ice. This is okay. I actually have I heard about That's cool. That's the one I should put on the bike with me. But it's not black. That's the reason why I got the other one. And that one I have on the bike, like it doesn't stay. I mean, don't get me wrong, it stays cold, for my usual short rides. But I've had ice in that thing, and it doesn't even stay cold as long. See, I was in southern Missouri a few days ago, and it was 89 degrees. The real feel was like 92 degrees. Woke up this morning, it was like 58 degrees. It's only 65 degrees now. I wish it just warm up and stay warmed up, man. Just warm up, please. That road looks rough right there, so I'm gonna get out of the way. Yeah, I just wish it just warm up, stay warm. This is how us truckers get sick. You hit one area and it's 100 degrees. And shoot, 2 years ago, year and a half or so ago, I'll be in Montana and it's 3 degrees and it's 69 degrees at home. Or I'll get to California and it's 85 degrees. That's a nice, that's a K what? That was nice. I don't know if you picked that up over there, but that was nice. Yeah, it'd be in California, it'd be 85 degrees, and you start coming down through the mountains, It'll be at 40 degrees, 32 degrees. You start getting ice warnings on the dashboard and stuff. And like, man, 9 hours ago I had the AC on. Now I have the heat blowing. It's crazy. That's a full-grown bear right there. Hope he don't turn. That's another old school. Must be a show going on behind me somewhere. That's several old school cars and some trailers. So, that's a nice P. There's some nice equipment going the other way. I think that was a K model dually. Was it a C model? Today over there. Oh man, he's loaded down too. These are some nice roads. I probably shouldn't have just said that, but I've already said it. These are some nice roads right here. Yeah, Illinois is always fixing their roads, but when you get to Indiana, oh my God, we probably have some of the worst roads in this country. I mean, you go across 70 here, and you hit the state line. You feel like your truck for to fall apart. Then you hit Indianapolis, and it's better. That's because you're coming to the airport from the west. I'm sorry, but when you get over to the east side, leaving Indianapolis, it's like the bypass from South Bend going to Elkhart. It's just that nonstop jerking, rocking back and forth. This is horrible. This is horrible. They don't have a sign out that says bump or dip. And I always say next time we come through that sign, it should say fixed. I mean, if you can tell me where it's at, you should just come on out there and fix it. Send a whole crew out there to install a sign. Just send a crew out there to fix it. But Missouri has some of the smoothest roads. Oklahoma, too. They do. They have some great roads. Yeah, in Indiana, I can't go this long without cussing. The roads are so good, I was able to see where the road was messed up and had time to get over before I hit that stuff. That's crazy. And it's not even a toll road. That 44 over in Oklahoma is a toll road for the most part. So you kind of expect your toll road to be well kept. Unlike Indiana, which is the toll road is privately owned. It's not a state road. Indiana toll road is owned by, I believe, somebody else in another country, if I'm not mistaken. There's some nice country out here, though. I wonder why he has that flag on his bumper there. It's a yellow Western Star. Now, let's talk Western Star. Western Star used to be independently owned. Not sure what year it was, but Freightliner actually purchased Western Star. And ever since they purchased Western Star, you can see, yeah, you're right about that. They got I think they had a wheel tax and another tax related to your tires too. I'm going to look into that again, but yeah, I don't. Why they're not using that properly? That's crazy. That's just stupid. I thought that's literally what it was for. But ever since Freightliner bought Western Star, man, they look ugly. Um, Even in the Transformer movie, that Western Star was a Freightliner Western Star, and although the paint scheme looked great and the triple stacks on both sides looked great, outside of that, it was an ugly truck. Um, Now, don't get me wrong, Western Star has always been an acquired taste. So you had a Stratosphere Sleeper that was more bubble than anything. But, man, if you park a Western Star, I'm not even sure this model number, but if you park a Western Star next to a Freightliner Cascadia, you'll see it. If you get a mid-roof Cascadia and a mid-roof Western Star and park them next to each other, you will literally see the Freightliner in the Western Star. The body, only thing was different is the hood, and not even so much. The grill is the same size as the Freightliner grill. They still have that same goofy spacing between the bumper and the bottom of the grill. They still have the same running boards, steps, the roof line, the roof cap, the sleeper is literally Freightliner. And I think that does a disservice for Western Star. But hey, it's a Freightliner company. I guess they can do whatever they want with their own product. So that's that. It's just hard to look at them knowing that it's a Freightliner. And then I seen a video of the new interior of the Western Star, and it's literally a Cascadia. It's just a different color, and they have leather seats with the Kenworth VIT treatment. You know, they've taken the Western Star dash, gotten rid of it, and incorporated a Cascadia Columbia Century dash, and everybody thinks it's great. It's horrible. It's horrible. Western Star used to represent class, prestige. When you see the Western Star, you slow down to appreciate it. Now you don't know it's Western Star until you look in your mirror and see the W on the grill there, on top of the hood. Yeah, it's a shame. I appreciate a truck with a hood on it, with a long nose on it. I've always been a Kenworth guy. I owned a Kenworth, a W9. This is a 990. It's basically the same truck with a different body and interior. The running gear is the same. The frame's the same. Everything about it. You can get the same motor in both trucks. You can get the same transmission in both trucks. You can get the same running gear in both trucks. This is just a different body on frame. You know, like all your GMC products now are all body on frames. You take one frame, you put a Acadia on it, a Terrain on it, a Blazer on it. It's just body on frame. But I like this truck. It reminds me of the W9 when I'm driving, because the dash is the same as a W9 for the most part. My radio is lowered, where in the W9, thanks man, I appreciate it. I do love this truck, don't get me wrong. I do love it. And when it's time to retire this one, I want another one. um, the radio is lowered. The radio used to be up top on the W9s. Uh, the toggle switches are rocker switches, which I guess just modernizes it. But I still have a full gauge package. I'm gonna do a truck tour in here pretty soon. But yeah, the gauges are the same. I don't have that. And don't get me wrong, that digital gauge is nice. I had the whole digital cluster in that 579P that I had, and that was a nice looking dash. Don't get me wrong, but there's nothing like these analog gauges in a big truck. Yes, my personal vehicle, I would love screens everywhere, except for the heating and cooling. I'd rather have physical buttons for that. But yes, I love a customizable instrument cluster in a car. You know, a multimedia interface, or I drive an all German car. Call it German car, even though it's not built in Germany. But whatever, that's a different subject. I love the screens, I do. But in the truck, I just feel like switches and gauges, switches and gauges. And I have what, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21 gauges in here. 21 gauges. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21 switches. 21 gauges and 21 switches. Yeah, full grown Adam, a customer over there. And this is just this how a truck should be, in my opinion. Like, in my opinion. I have, and I'll do like I said, I'll do a video showing the dash and explaining what gauges do what. But I got a gauge for my left tank, I got a gauge for my right fuel tank, and I got a gauge for my DEF tank, which I think is a scam, but I got a gauge for my DEF tank, so I got 3 fuel gauges. You know, amp gauge, and things you need to worry about. Not just I got a battery voltage gauge, but I also have an amp gauge as well. You know, that 579 I had, that was not an option. I couldn't see the amperages in that truck. You know, I know what the temperature is in my front diff and rear diff. You know, I got a fuel filter gauge, lets me know the restriction in it because it's on the vacuum. The air filters, got a gauge for that. That's on the vacuum. There's a nice, what is that? That was that. That was nice. Same color as that Peterbilt I passed not too long ago. But, you know, I got a suspension load gauge on here, which I know about where I should be, to where if I'm above a certain number, I'm probably overweight. This trailer has a scale on it, a digital readout scale, not just an air pressure gauge, but it's actually tell me that, hey, your trailer is at 36,000 pounds right now. You know, and all that stuff helps. You know, I even have a gauge that tells me how many PSI I'm pressing down on the brake when I apply the brake. You know, so although I might not look at these gauges every day, you know, I look at them all day, but you know, some of them are less important than others. But if I develop an issue with my truck, I'm pretty sure it's a system in here that has a gauge on it that indicates something for me, you know, outside of the regular check engine and stop engine and stuff that pops up. The bunk in this truck has more room than my W9 had. It's got more storage. Although I am not fond of where the TV bracket is. It's a nice Corvette coming at us. These trucks are still being set up for like old school box TVs. This is the 2020 here. No one's using a big old box TV anymore, or tube TV rather. So I have an area for. Kenworth says only the biggest TV you can get in here is a 28 inch, and I guess that's a tube TV. But I got a 32-inch flat screen, which they give you the tube TV location, but they also give you a flat screen mount. It's kind of weird, but no one's running those anymore. No one's running those anymore. But so my TV mount sits to the right of where the tube TV would sit. But in doing that, well, I kind of created a problem because my PlayStation, I set my PlayStation right where the tube TV should go, and I don't have the clearance to swing my TV over without scratching the top of my PlayStation. So now when I lift up my bunk to access things that are underneath my bed, I almost have to take my TV and I gotta move my game and slide the TV over just to get underneath my bunk here. And that's not well thought out. My refrigerator, I'm glad I got one. So, but that's all I have is a refrigerator. It's more of a bin, more of a bin style refrigerator. That 579 Pete I had, let me hang out here for a second. The road's kind of rough right there. That 579 Pete I had, it was like an actual, I had a refrigerator door and a freezer door. Now, I still have that on this truck, but like I said, the refrigerator is a bin style, and there's a lid you lift that or pull down for the freezer. It's smaller than the Peterbilt, but on the Peterbilt I had a refrigerator door and I had a freezer door independent of each other. So now I'm like I said, I'm glad I have it. I just pack differently. I got to get these sealed containers, and my fiance meal preps for me. So now I got to, instead of putting them on a shelf and having a crisper drawer and a freezer and a door to install, hang stuff in, I have to, stack my prepared meals vertically in the drawer, which means I'm limited to how many waters I can put in. I put like 2 bottles of water in there. I don't buy the core water anymore because the bottles are just too bulky. So I'll buy a 30-pack of Ice Mountain and throw that on the top back there, which I'll show you in a different video. And I can put water in the refrigerator every day. And I don't mind doing that because at least I have a refrigerator, so it's just a little different. Just a little different, that's all. I'm just pointing out things that I think are overlooked or, could be changed. I have my air fryer stored up high there too. It's in a great position. It's actually inside of a cabinet, and I got a closet behind me. I got a rod for clothes to hang up, which I hang up usually all the drawer underneath the refrigerator too. I put like some dry stuff in there, in case of emergency, in case I'm stuck out for the weekend. Thinking about that stuff, but all that stuff that I'm complaining about is essential to have in one form or another. And if I need it, it's there. I don't have to get out of this truck for anything but to load, unload, and use the restroom if it came down to it. I got 2 150-gallon fuel tanks. I just put 178 gallons in the truck. That cost me, well, it didn't cost me anything, but that cost $590 for 178 gallons of diesel and 6 pounds of death fluid.
Your mother is calling. Are you not picking up the phone yet?
Alright.
Hold on, this one.
And she hung up already. Okay. So I gotta call my mama. Gotta call my mama. Yeah, so I didn't say what was paid. 170, that was $590.10. That's a lot of money. Now I delivered this load that I have. I picked this up in OKC, and I'll be delivering this in Grand Rapids on Tuesday, which I appreciate the extra day off, but I can work on Monday if they were open, you know. So this truck has carpet all throughout as well. Original carpet, not a stain on it. So I have almost every square inch of the carpet covered up. You know, I'd rather the rubber floor, but all right, man, take it easy, man. Thanks for jumping in here. I'll probably stay live for a little while. It's keeping me woke anyway. But me and the Midnight Pumpkin to be out here doing our thing, man. Check us when you get back. If we still here, jump on back in here, man. But other than that, have a good day, man. We'll talk to you soon. Matter of fact, might have to get out there this weekend, do some cop watching. Yeah, I do. I love this truck though. I mean, the best part about this truck is the ride. It's the ride. It rides great. It rides great. Turning is a task. I'm used to swinging wide to take up all the space that I need, more space than I need. That's a nice little hot rod there. But I find myself taking up all the space that I need now, and when I get through my turn, I needed all of that space. There go another state trooper with a customer there. That must be a broke down vehicle. Yeah, that's a broke down vehicle. Hey, he's still sitting in there though. I'm gonna bump my cruise down a little bit. What is that noise I keep hearing? Is that my hood latch? I'm going to check that out. All right, bring her down one. Yeah, that caught me off guard. I wasn't ready. I was sipping my water. I am going to end this live. I got a few phone calls to make. I will probably be back tonight, as I don't think I'm going to make it all the way into the house. I'm not going to make it all the way in. So what I'm going to do is probably shut down early, take my 10 and get back at it. Or I can use my split. And when I get about 8 hours back, I can go ahead and take off. But I'll be back tonight. If y'all up and able to, let's go ahead and join in. Deuces.